Africa, known as the birthplace of humanity. The Democratic Republic of the Congo, located in the heart of Africa, is particularly notable for its eastern region, which is often referred to as a microcosm of the world's darkness. The darkness in eastern DR Congo is rarely covered by the media. Through my on-site reporting, I have come to understand just how deep this darkness truly is. Why is DR Congo referred to as a microcosm of the world's darkness? Based on my on-site reporting, I will explain 3 reasons behind this characterization. Hello everyone, my name is Kanta. On my Japanese channel, I frequently created videos about the realities in the Democratic Republic of Congo. However, there are things that cannot be understood through books and online information alone. Driven by this belief, I visited the eastern region of the Democratic Republic of Congo, often referred to as one of the most dangerous areas in the world, in September 2023. Through my on-site reporting, I have come to realize something important. To truly understand a situation, it is crucial to have both a bug's eye view and a bird's eye view. A bug's eye view means seeing things up close and in detail, like a small bug would. In this context, it involves not just gathering information from books or the internet, but actually visiting DR Congo and speaking directly with the local people. This kind of approach is what I'm referring to. However, a bug's eye view alone is not enough. We also need a bird's eye view. A bird's eye view involves taking a step back and seeing the bigger picture, like a bird flying high above and looking out over the ground. This refers to an approach that sees things from a higher perspective. Having both a bug's eye view and a bird's eye view leads to a more accurate understanding of the world. In this video, I will explain why DR Congo is referred to as a microcosm of the world's darkness by incorporating insights from my on-site reporting in the region. The first reason DR Congo is referred to as a microcosm of the world's darkness is because it is the richest country in resources, yet the poorest in terms of wealth. What does it mean to be the richest yet the poorest? It means that despite DR Congo being one of the world's leading producers of natural resources, the vast majority of its population lives in extreme poverty. In the heart of Africa lies the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The Congo River, which traverses the country, is surrounded by untouched tropical rainforests. In the southern and eastern regions of DR Congo, there are abundant natural resources that are highly sought after worldwide, including gold, copper, diamonds, tantalum, and cobalt. Particularly noteworthy is the natural resource cobalt. In recent years, electric vehicles have been gaining popularity, especially in Europe, the United States, and China, and cobalt is essential in the manufacturing of these electric vehicles. Furthermore, cobalt is also used in the production of electronic devices such as cell phones and laptops. Remarkably, 68% of the world's cobalt production is concentrated in the DR Congo, making it the leading producer of cobalt, surpassing major countries like Russia and Australia. In addition to cobalt, DR Congo is also rich in gold. Particularly in recent years, the value of stocks has dropped whenever global events have caused instability, such as the 2008 Lehman Brothers collapse, the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, and the Ukraine crisis in 2022. As a result, the purchase of gold, which is considered a reliable asset, has increased, causing global gold prices to rise. This growing demand for gold worldwide is met by the abundant gold reserves found in the DR Congo. So, does the DR Congo, with its abundant natural resources, enjoy proportional economic and social prosperity? Unfortunately, this is not the case. The DR Congo is actually ranked as one of the poorest countries in the world. There is an organization called the United Nations Development Programme, or UNDP, that publishes the Human Development Index every year. In simple terms, the Human Development Index is a comprehensive measure of a country's development, based on factors such as average life expectancy, years of schooling, and average income. According to the latest Human Development Index, the DR Congo ranks 180th out of 193 countries, classifying it as one of the poorest nations. This means that the country's abundant natural resources have not translated into a prosperous life for its citizens. Let's take a closer look at education, one of the indicators of the Human Development Index. What kind of environment do children in DR Congo study in? Here is footage I captured during my visit to a local elementary school in eastern Congo in September 2023. The school building here is broken to pieces. As you can see, most of the bricks in this wall have also crumbled. Inside the school building, the blackboard remains, and there are signs that classes were once held. However, the wood and other structures inside are severely corroded and no classes are currently being held. Due to the conflict, the school has not been able to keep up with repairs. Other school buildings have managed to recover to the point where classes can resume with the help of Terra Renaissance. However, the government has not allocated much money to the education budget, which has delayed the repair of many schools. Education is of utmost importance for the future of this region, but the situation is quite severe. I mentioned that the global demand for gold has been rising in recent years, but what about the lives of the people in DR Congo who are mining this gold? Similarly, during my visit to eastern DR Congo, I interviewed a 17-year-old youth who works in gold mining. Here is the footage from that interview.
How old are you?
17.
17. How is your work here?
Helper.
He serves as an helper to the older men who work in this gold mine.
How many days do you work in 1 week? How many hours do you work in 1 day? Okay, so for 4 hours in the morning. How much is your income from this work for 1 month? What is the biggest challenge of your work here?
Magumu gani unapataka mkazi yako?
Gonjwa sote nje baridi.
Get sick.
What kind of sickness?
Unasema unagonjwaka unapata magonjwa?
Malaria, homa, vile.
Do you go to school?
Unaenda kwa masomo? No.
Okay. Did you graduate from primary school?
Ulisomaka mpaka only 6 years in primary school.
So after primary 6, he started working. When did you start working? What was your age of starting work? Do you have your dream? Is this work good or bad for you?
He don't like his job. He have nothing to do. That's why he's working here.
Asante sana. Merci beaucoup.
Ciao, asante.
Asante sana.
Jina lako nani tena? Sirire? Sirire.
Despite the presence of natural resources that are highly sought after worldwide, the people living there endure extreme poverty. This is the harsh reality they face. The video from my visit to the gold mines in eastern Congo showcases how the local youth extract gold and why they risk their lives to work in the mines. It provides an in-depth look at the realities of gold mining in the region, so please take a moment to watch it as well. You might wonder why, despite the abundance of natural resources, the lives of the people in DR Congo have not become prosperous. There are various reasons for this, but the ongoing conflict that has persisted for many years plays a significant role. The second reason DR Congo is referred to as a microcosm of the world's darkness is due to its severe and ongoing conflicts, which are among the worst in the world. In the eastern DR Congo, conflicts have persisted for 25 years since 1998, severely impacting the lives of the local people. The estimated number of lives lost in the eastern Congo conflict exceeds 6 million. While recent conflicts in Ukraine and Palestine have drawn significant attention, the conflict in Congo has actually resulted in the highest number of casualties of any war since World War II. Most of the deaths in conflict in eastern Congo are not due to direct combat, but rather indirect causes. The prolonged conflict restricts access to food, medicine, and other essential services, leading to deaths from preventable or treatable diseases. To understand the conflict in the DR Congo, it's essential to familiarize yourself with the term low-intensity conflict. What does a low-intensity conflict mean? Here is a video of my explanation recorded during my on-site reporting in Congo. The conflict in eastern part of the Democratic Republic of the Congo is sometimes called low-intensity conflict. This does not mean that fighting is going on all the time, but intermittently, especially at night, the armed groups that are active in the region attack villages, and there are fights between armed groups. Because of this low-intensity conflict that has been going on for a long time, there has been no progress in infrastructure development. As you can see here, the road is really not paved. Also, there are many people who cannot go to hospitals or receive adequate education. Although the number of people who directly lose their lives as a result of the conflict is not that large, however, it is said that more than 6 million people have been killed since 1998, when the Congo conflict broke out. Almost 90% of them lost their lives due to lack of access to medical care caused by the conflict. You can see that the conflict continues to have a great impact on the lives of the local people. Additionally, Shingo Ogawa, a staff member of the NPO Terra Renaissance, which has been active in Eastern Congo for about 20 years, describes the situation in Eastern Congo as follows.
Of course, we are under conflict, but it is a low-intensity conflict of sorts. It is not a daily conflict all the time, but there are occasional raids and looting by armed groups. The people here are mostly ordinary people living in ordinary villages. In Congo, there are roughly 5.4 million internally displaced persons. The number may be higher now. The number of people is too large to build refuge refugee camps, so most of Congo's internally displaced people are living in ordinary houses or in the villages of their relatives. They cannot survive relying solely on aid from outside. Even if the environment was not adequate for farming, they have to do production activities by themselves. There is no future for the people in this area if they are dependent on aid anyway. There are many ways to provide aid, but at least here, just giving food directly is not sustainable. We teach skills to the local people so that they can make a living using local products as much as possible. For example, we teach beekeeping skills so that they can produce and sell their products. In this way, our ultimate goal is to help the local people to make a sustainable living. We need to work simultaneously with emergency support to give goods directly and support for self-reliance or improving livelihoods.
To put it simply, a low-intensity conflict is a type of armed conflict that falls between full-scale warfare and a state of peace where no force is used. To visualize, think of the large-scale use of force in conventional wars, such as the initial clashes between Russia and Ukraine when the war began. A low-intensity conflict involves relatively lower levels of violence and military engagement. However, in regions where such a state persists for a long time, power vacuums can emerge. These are areas where government control is ineffective. Indeed, it has been reported that armed groups and even the Congolese government forces exploit the chaotic situation to profit from the region's natural resources. Shingo Ogawa, who has extensive knowledge about DR Congo, also discussed the link between the conflict and natural resources in DR Congo. He explained how the ongoing conflict has created opportunities for various factions to exploit these resources for their gain. This area where we are now is also rich in mineral resources, right?
That's right. It is very green and very rich in underground resources. The area is known for its tantalum, tin, and gold. These minerals are used, for example, in the manufacture of electronic devices such as smartphones and laptops. There are mining sites here and there, but they are occupied by armed groups at the same time. Local youths are engaged in mining at the mining sites, but the armed groups take about half of the production. This becomes a source of funding for the armed groups, and their armed struggle continues. It is ironic that natural resources such as gold and tantalum, which the world covets, are abundant, but they are the reason for the continuing conflicts. As long as there are no wars or conflicts, this is a very natural and peaceful place. We have such beautiful forests and rich soil that we can grow anything we want for food. It is such a place blessed with a natural environment.
Despite DR Congo's abundance of natural resources, or perhaps because of it, the people continue to suffer in a paradoxical and tragic situation. The history of hardship for the Congolese people did not start recently. The third reason DR Congo is referred to as a microcosm of the world's darkness is due to the continuous exploitation it has endured over the past 500 years. The history of Congo is often described as a history of repeated exploitation driven by greed. Since the 15th and 16th centuries, when Europeans first encountered Africa, Congo became a major hub for the slave trade. Over 5 million people were taken as slaves from this region. In the 19th and 20th centuries, Congo became a Belgian colony, entering another tragic era. During this period, Europe experienced an explosive growth in the popularity of bicycles, leading to a sudden surge in demand for natural rubber to produce tires. Congo, which was rich in natural rubber, became a key resource for Belgium during its colonial rule. The indigenous people of Congo were forced into labor on rubber plantations, and it is estimated that over 10 million people perished during this period due to harsh working conditions, disease, and violence. Even after gaining independence from Belgium, Congo was heavily impacted by the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union. During this time, a vast amount of Congo's natural resources were extracted and exported, yet the standard of living for its citizens did not improve. Because of its abundant natural resources, the people of Congo have been continually exploited and live in extreme poverty. This tragic situation has persisted for 500 years. Listening to this story, it might seem that DR Congo is an overwhelmingly harsh place. Indeed, DR Congo is one of the poorest countries in the world, and the living conditions are undeniably difficult. However, this does not mean that the people of Congo live in a state of complete despair. Despite the challenging circumstances, people find joy and community. Through my on-site reporting, I observed children laughing and playing with wide smiles, and groups of people singing together joyfully. There is a unique richness and happiness that the people possess, even amidst their struggles. For a closer look at the real life in Congo, please check out the Inside DRC series. If you haven't seen all the videos yet, I encourage you to watch them. As mentioned at the beginning, to truly understand something deeply, it's crucial to have both a bug's eye view and a bird's eye view. I plan to create videos that supplement an overview of the situation by citing content from my on-site coverage in DR Congo. Kanta's channel explains various issues in the world that are difficult to learn about through other channels. It is important not to be interested, but to stay interested. Please subscribe to my channel to stay interested. Thank you again for watching this video to the end. See you again in the next video.